You cannot hate yourself into change. That just creates avoidance. You must love yourself. In order to change, the best thing to do is to start by accepting exactly who you are and exactly where you are. Watch this video that talked about a tennis player and basically said that he started going bald at age 19 and he started wearing a hairpiece. And so the breaking point for him was before a match, I believe it was a finals, he tried to, the night before, wash the hairpiece and it started to fall apart. And his brother helped him get it back together. But that night, he didn't pray for a win the next day. He prayed for his hair to stay on. This just goes to show how much things about ourselves that we reject keep us back, because he ended up losing. 2 years later, he showed up to the Open and he went just as he was and accepted himself, and he ended up winning. These types of things hold us back. Not accepting who we are really does hold us back. We filter our ideas so people don't get offended. We say yes when we want to say no. We dress a certain way to be approved of and validated by the people around us. So what is self-acceptance? Embracing who you are without any qualifications, conditions, or exceptions. Of course, we're all going to change throughout our lives, so this is not something that there's an end game to, right? Like, it's a continuous thing, but accepting exactly where you are now and where you can be in the future. What it's not, I think oftentimes there's a little bit of resistance thinking that, oh, I'm accepting myself. This means ignoring your issues. You don't have to work on yourself anymore, that you're lazy. This is not true. Not narcissistic or selfish. It doesn't mean giving up. And it's not something to achieve. Much in life, the first step to change is accepting where you are, looking at the hard things. What you resist persists. And so you'll always hear these stories about right before someone attracts their partner, they accept, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to be alone. Or they accept, you think when you lose something and you're going crazy looking for it, and when you finally surrender, it allows your emotions to kind of settle so that logic can come into play, so that you can actually think from a rational place and also allow. So let's go through ways that you can start accepting yourself right now. We're talking about accepting things, right? Maybe the first step is just to accept that you're not accepting yourself right now. Just let that sink in and settle. You're not accepting yourself right now. That alone will take a weight off of you. Another thing is a perspective shift. A lot of times, what we don't accept about ourselves and the dark things and the things we don't love about ourselves actually also hold a part of our strengths. So let's give a few examples. Maybe people say you're very sensitive. Okay, well, let's attach that to a strength. You are compassionate towards other people because you're sensitive. Let's say you're loud. Maybe that's something that you look at negatively, but you're the one that speaks up for people. You're the one that talks during your meetings. You're human. You're gonna have light, you're gonna have dark, you're going to have different traits about you that make you whole. So really accepting yourself is learning to love the things that aren't so great about yourself. Maybe you're a perfectionist. Okay, that can be negative, but also you have a really good attention to detail. You do things so thoroughly. That's amazing. It's also a gift. So like I said, attaching your, maybe darker side or negative traits to something positive, because there is a strength in there. I can guarantee you that. Another thing you can do is start trying to speak to yourself like someone you love, right? Think of the person you love the most. If they were where you are right now, what would you tell them? It's so much easier sometimes for us to accept things about people we see in movies or, write characters. But in our own life, it can be hard to accept things about ourselves. So what would you tell someone close to you that you loved? how would you encourage them or help them accept themselves or look at it from a new light? The next thing is to make a little list, maybe 5 to 10 things of things in your life right now that you're grateful for, parts about yourself that you're grateful for or that you love. Focusing on how it's so negative, like I said, maybe write those things, write the things that you're having a hard time accepting, and then start looking at the opposite of that. What can you say that's good, help you accept those parts of yourself, finding the light in it. And the last thing, as I always say, is I have an EFT video attached for a basic just run through of accepting yourself. And I have that on my second channel. I'll link it below. About just getting somewhere. It's about enjoying where you are throughout your life. And there are different seasons for a reason. If we didn't have those valleys, we wouldn't get to the peaks. And oftentimes that comes right before the peak. So if you knew that everything could change tomorrow, sit with this version of yourself, because you're not going to have it forever, and accept where you are and find the beauty and the light in every part of you in this moment.